good afternoon to you from Normal West High School in Normal, Illinois, where we're almost set for game number 3 of 5 at the Midwest Crossroads Shootout. It's the Oswego Panthers battling it out with a top 5 team in Class 4A, the Normal Community Ironmen. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Alongside John Camosa, it's Larry Larson in with you. And John, we have seen Normal Community time and time again this year, battling it out with some of the top teams in the state. We've seen them beat teams the likes of East St. Louis, Power in 3A, among others, dominating the Big 12 Conference. They're 7-1 in conference this season and 25-1 overall. It's going to be a tall task for Oswego.
Yeah, it really is. This is a Normal Community team coming off a win against Manual last night, 25-1 on the year, like you said. Really nice wins on the season. So Oswego defensively going to have to control the rebounding battle and really lock in down low on Zach Cleveland and Dwinell for them. So this is going to be a tall task. This is a Normal Community team that likes to space the floor, get out in transition with Trey Red as well. So they can play in a half-court set, and they can get out and push the tempo as well.
Zach Cleveland, a 6'7 senior forward, headed to Liberty next year. Trey Red, a starting senior guard, 3-year varsity starter. Some of the stars on the Ironman squad, but lots of talent for Oswego as well, and it starts with Deacon Tonelli, a 6'6 junior forward, who's a Power 5 recruit, not on the basketball court, but on the football field. Yeah,
it has offers from Tennessee, Michigan at 6'6". You know, that's a player that obviously is going to be on the scouting board for a lot of Division I coaches across the nation. You know, on the basketball court, multi-talented as well. So this Oswego team, Coach said it's a little bit of a roller coaster ride this year, 8-12 on the year. So they've had some good wins, had some losses. They're just trying to get things going. So this is a big game for them this afternoon against Normal Community. And we'll see if they can bounce back and take a win. And you know the Ironmen want to keep that winning streak going.
Most definitely, John. It's a 25-1 record for the Ironmen, as we mentioned. Oswego enters with a mark of 8-12 and 6-7 in the Southwest Prairie Conference. Starting lineups about to get underway here in game number 3 of the Midwest Crossroads Shootout. Been a great day so far. 3 more games coming up, counting this one. Oswego and Normal Community and Sacred Heart Griffin and Normal West to follow, and then the premier game of the day, Yorkville Christian, Jaden Shute, a Duke commit, taking on Peoria Notre Dame, another Big 12 power. Starting lineup being introduced for Oswego. We'll get it to you. It starts with Kyle Zeck, a 5'10 senior guard. Max Niesman follows, number 3 in navy blue, 5'10 junior guard. Caleb Wright, a 6'2 senior guard, also gets the starting nod. Jordan Brooks, a young fella, 6' sophomore guard in the starting lineup. And the aforementioned Deacon Tonelli, the big man in the middle, standing at 6'6". Those are the Panthers. Here are the Ironmen. It starts with Famius French, the transfer from Bloomington, a 6'6 senior forward, followed by Trey Red, a 5'11 senior guard. Crofton Perry also in the starting 5, a 6'1 senior guard, followed by Tyler Dwinell, the 6'5 senior center, football tight end. He's got some size down there in the middle. And then, of course, Zach Cleveland, who seems to do something special every game, John.
Yeah, he does. 2 big dunks against Manual last night. And Larry, it's really not a surprise. We're going to see a dunk from him just about every game. He likes to get out and run. Usually gets a nice lob from Trey Red, but it's a player that can really soar above the rim and can step out and shoot the ball as well.
Almost time for basketball. Normal Community has the home court advantage of sorts. Just a quick trip across town for them here to Normal West. Oswego a little bit further, a few hours. You think that plays any factor, John?
Yeah, usually when you have to travel, you know, there's that, not to say jet lag like flying, but, you know, you get tired on a bus sitting there. So, you know, Oswego a chance to shoot around, warm up, see if they can come out here and make a statement early.
Normal Community wins the tip, and we're underway. The Ironmen in their home whites, orange numbers, moving from right to left. Oswego in navy blue and orange. Trey Red open for 3, comes up short. And the Panthers will have a chance to strike first. Max Niesman turns it over. Dwinell ahead to Cleveland, and he puts it in.
Talked about seeing that dunk, and first basket of the game comes off a nice one-handed slam there from Cleveland.
A little off balance from Zach there. Not the authoritative finish we're used to seeing, but again, we're still in the opening minute. Oswego trying to knot it back up, and Caleb Bright, or rather Jordan Brooks, has some trouble on the baseline there, and it'll stay here.
And Larry, this is what makes this Ironman team so dangerous. Seeing that defensive pressure early, credit to a lot of their 26 wins from that defensive pressure they put on teams. 3 turnovers early.
Crofton Perry forces a turnover. Cleveland with the finger roll. He's got all 4 points. Big game early for Zach Cleveland. Tonelli pickpocketed by Perry. Ahead to Cleveland this time with authority. Timeout Oswego.
The ferocious dunk. I think you got it there. And Larry, that timeout much needed there for the Panthers. Defensive pressure early on.
And John, what's the message for the Panthers? They don't seem to have an answer here in the opening 2 minutes or so.
No, and I mean, they've slowed the tempo down too. It's not like they're pushing the pace too quick. They've gotten that half-court set, but Normal Community just ripping that ball away, able to force those turnovers. Got to try to get something going and contain that ball. But they're doing a good job of jamming the middle inside with Dwinell and Cleveland, just making it really hard right now on the Panthers.
Zach Cleveland with all 6 points for the Ironmen in the opening 2 minutes, but a lot of credit has got to go to Crofton Perry. 2 steals here.
Yep, and there's another. Crofton Perry's had his hands in on just about every ball.
Now the Ironmen will slow it down, feeding Cleveland, and why not? The big man having a huge day early.
One of the better starts we've seen from Normal Community all season. 4 early turnovers, leading to 4 transition baskets.
Niesman nearly turns it over, and Tyler Dwinell goes barreling into the sidelines. I would not want to be in front of him if he's heading towards the sideline. Goodness.
And speaking of being in front, too, Larry, just a couple games ago when they beat Normal West, took the all-time charge record for Normal Community with 23 charges on a year. So he's a player that really likes to assert himself in position on defense.
And we talked to head coach Dave Wizig about Dwinell before that game, and he said he's a guy that is kind of under the radar, doesn't do anything flashy, but he's big, plays great defense, and then sometimes every once in a while he'll sneak up the scoreboard and says all of a sudden he's got 12 points and maybe 8 or 10 rebounds. Guy that has double-double potential. Crofton Perry helps Red set up the offense. Red around a screen, gets inside. Not enough English. Dwinell right there for the putback.
It's a nice friendly roll there. Talk about his rebounding ability right there, able to grab it and get a nice spin for a bucket.
Caleb Wright picked up by Cleveland. A little bit of a mismatch. Wright bowls over Dwinell, and that's a block.
But he's not afraid to take it. Right there, thought he got the charge. Oswego a chance to get on the board.
10-0 run to start the contest for Community. Caleb Wright with a chance to end it. One of 2 senior starters on this Oswego Panthers team, and first free throw is short. We talked to head coach Chad Pullman for the Panthers, John. That's the first thing he mentioned. He said, we are young.
Yeah, he said, and you know, a lot has to do with COVID this year. He said they've had to battle some players being out, a couple assistants being out, have made things challenging. He said they're kind of regrouping right now and trying to get back on track and see if they can find their footing here in this game. I'm sure they want to come out and make a statement.
Panthers poke it away. They jet ahead in transition. Kyle Zeck blocked away by Trey Red. Cleveland jets to the bucket and one. Cleveland into double figures already.
Trey Red at just 5'11", he can soar above the rim, block that like he was a 6'7" player.
Block into an and one. And Cleveland Airballs the free throw. So maybe he's not so hot.
He doesn't get that one to go, but how about this job that they're doing offensively, finding Cleveland in transition? He seems to be down there just about every single time.
Armani Hunter into the game early off the bench for the Panthers, who have no answer for Zach Cleveland. He's got 10. Drive and dish. Tonelli from downtown. Got it.
Larry, I think what makes Normal Community so dangerous is this defensive pressure that they're putting on early. It never seems to slow down. They keep up this pressure throughout the entire game.
French downstairs to Red, and the finger roll is a little bit too much. Zach across the timeline from 15 was partially blocked. He was looking for the foul.
A little bit of contact there, no call.
Red off balance, can't get it to go. Dwinell bats it around, gets it back. Strong finish, and he gets the roll.
How about the battle there from Dwinell? He goes through a little bit of contact. Two really pretty finishes from him.
Big fellas doing all the scoring for the Ironmen early. Dwinell with 4, Cleveland with 10. Tonelli open for 3, halfway down and out. And again, there's Red playing like a big fella downstairs, grabbing the rebound. He wants to go coast to coast. Dwinell almost had the follow-up again. Can't get it there.
And 2 down in transition.
Tonelli sent away by Cleveland. Open mid-range for Wright, not to be.
Normal Community looking to push the pace a little bit here.
Red's bucket waved off. He wanted a continuation but didn't get it. So he will go to the free throw line. And John, we were talking pregame. We were down on the court watching Normal Community warm up, and we were remarking just how big that team is. You look at the roster, you know they're big, but you're down on the floor there, and you notice they are much bigger when you're face-to-face, and I think that's what Oswego has found out the hard way here in the opening minutes.
Yeah, they have, and you know that's what makes them such a sneaky team. You get all these guys in your starting lineup that produce so much size. But, Larry, we haven't even seen a lot of the guys coming off the bench. You got to look at Zach Cleveland's brother, Noah Cleveland, at 6'8". Jaheim Weber, another sophomore, 6'8". It's 2 twin towers coming off the bench, not to mention Zach Cleveland at 6'7" in your starting lineup. Dwinell, Famious French at 6'6" as your swingman. Team's got a lot of talent, a lot of size.
First quarter masked timeout. As we take a minute to thank all our great sponsors here at the Midwest Crossroads Shootout. Rotating on your screen there. Shout out to those folks helping make today's event possible. Normal Community leads by 10, led by 10 points from Zach Cleveland, 4 points from Tyler Dwinell. Big fellas getting the job done early, just across town from their home court. And, John, you always expect Community to come out with some fire, but this is one of the better starts that we've seen from them all season long, and already one of the best performances that I've seen from Zach Cleveland all season long. Yeah,
it is. Zach Cleveland getting in transition. They're able to find him. 2 really nice dunks from him so far, so this is a great start for the Ironmen. We're used to seeing really good starts, but this got to be one of the better ones we've seen.
Roman over to Robbie Brent, early subs in for head coach Dave Wizig. Of note, Tyler Dwinell on the bench getting wrapped up right now as Cleveland misses the layup. And Oswego snares the board.
Must have took a little bit of contact there, Dwinell, on one of his baskets. Getting that left wrist taped up.
Tonelli off with a long-range shot. Cleveland gets the rebound. A pass ahead, and the two-handed flush for Jaheim Weber.
That's the big fellow we mentioned coming off the bench, showing that size right there with the two-handed slam.
12-point lead for Community. Jeremiah Akin to the right wing, Kyle Zeck. Long ball is off the attachment. Good offensive rebound by Akin. Panthers reset. Here's Akin to the inside to an open Zeck, and that time he got it.
And those threes are going to be big for Oswego if they continue to knock those down, try to cut into this deficit, especially there's no signs of slowing down in Normal Community.
Look at Cleveland to the bucket. It's the Cleveland show in the first quarter. 12 points for the senior.
Just getting to the rim with ease.
Deacon Tonelli around the horn to Zek. Niesman with it. Armani Hunter. Akin from steps in front of the line. Line drive shot is off. Cleans up his own mess. Hunter trapped in the corner by Cleveland and Roman. And a timeout is burned by head coach Chad Pullman.
See the game plan that Oswego comes up with after this timeout here, but all the momentum with the Ironmen so far. Almost 20 points on the board here in the first quarter.
Minute 27 remaining in the opening period of action. It's game number 3 of 5 here today at the Midwest Crossroads Shootout. Glad you're with us on ClutchSportsIL.com. Lots of great teams here today. Normal Community, the first state-ranked team to play. Peoria Notre Dame and Yorkville Christian, 2 state-ranked teams coming up in the nightcap at 7:30. You're going to want to watch that one, so be sure to stay tuned here on our YouTube channel. Sacred Heart Griffin and Normal West coming up after this at about 5:30. Here's Tonelli. Hunter lost the handle. Drives, and he's fouled.
Yeah, Normal Community keeping up with that defensive pressure. Just it's a little bit of contact there. Going with that big lineup inside, though. Talk about the 2 players off the bench, Noah Cleveland, Jaheim Weber, 6'8" to round out the middle.
Tonelli off the inbounds, no good. Offensive rebound in and out of the hands of Hunter. And the call here is out.
Looks like it will.
Off of, to be determined, Community. We'll stay here with the Panthers. Niesman lobs in to Akin. Tonelli looking for space on Weber, doesn't get any. Good ball movement, and it's poked away. Roman on the fast break, down low to Brents. The finger roll off the glass and in.
Another great finish in transition. A lot of their points coming off those layups. Normal Community just pushing that tempo after turnovers.
Tonelli double teamed and fouled. Foul there on Braylon Roman, his second personal. Just 3 team fouls on Community, just 2 on Oswego. Niesman off balance, tough shot, falls short.
Ironman looking to add to that lead here. Probably elect to play for the last shot.
Armani Hunter wanted that not to happen, trying a little too hard for the steal there. All inbounded into the backcourt for Braylon Roman. He's got 10. Now 7. Round a screen from Noah Cleveland, gets downhill, falls short. Cleveland gets tied up on the baseline. And with 1.4 seconds, the Ironmen will have possession on the baseline. Lob up, Cleveland falls short, and that's how a big first quarter ends for Normal Community. 20-7 after 1. 12 points for Zach Cleveland.
Yeah, good design play there to close out the first quarter. Lob, inbounds lob to Noah Cleveland, just couldn't get it to go, but how about his brother, Zach Cleveland, with a huge first quarter to really power this Normal Community team.
And John, every time that we've seen the Ironmen this season, which we've seen them a few times on CSM for various tournaments, saw them last week against Normal West, a crosstown rivalry game that was pretty close until down the stretch, and then we saw Community win the State Farm Holiday Classic title over East St. Louis, generally a team that's always in the mix for a state title. I mean, they've put on a show against those teams, but today, I mean, they're especially high-flying.
Yeah, and I think the three things that all of those games have in common, Larry, it starts right with the defense. Defense won it for them against East St. Louis. Defense was a huge factor in the third and fourth quarter against Normal West, which really helped separate them. And tonight, we're looking at just defensive turnovers leading to baskets in transition, and Zach Cleveland just doing it all, both offensively and defensively. And this is where Dave Witzig's team really has succeeded this year, and it's been on the defensive end.
Plenty of time for Oswego, though. They have the first possession of the second quarter. Deacon Tonelli, guarded by Tyler Dwinell, two football guys going at it. Caleb Bright kicks into the corner. Jordan Brooks. Brooks thought about the deep ball, instead charges ahead and knocks down the off-balance shot. Nifty bucket for the sophomore.
Yeah, Dwinell out there now. He's got that left hand taped up. Being a football guy, I think he's used to being taped up, a little contact.
Eli Benson in the game for Community. Lobs it down low to Cleveland, and he can't finish through the double team, and Brooks pulls in the rebound. McKinn drives in the corner. Tonelli, rhythm three, bounces over the backboard.
Chance there for Oswego to cut it to single digits with that three, just couldn't get it to go.
John, one trend I've noticed early, it's been tough for Tonelli to get any space inside. You know, generally the big man in the middle for the Panthers has really been relegated to shooting outside.
Yeah, and they can rotate so many different guys on him that match up well. You got to look at the starting lineup right now with Cleveland and Dwinell, and then you're bringing
Cleveland, another slam.
Weber off the bench too, so there's guys that have an inch on them no matter if you go starter or bench.
Zach Cleveland with 14. Tonelli swings it to Niesman. So important to answer those big plays with buckets. If you're Oswego and they haven't been able to do it, Cleveland back-to-back jams for the senior.
We saw two massive throwdowns last week against Normal West, right back in this gym. How about four of them today?
Caleb Wright sent away by Cleveland. Lobs it ahead for Benson through traffic. Can't get the finger roll, but Trey Red is there. How about Cleveland from outside? Not this time from Tonelli. Another shot? You bet. What can't he do? Zach Cleveland, the Liberty signee, putting on a show.
I love that play right there. Gets blocked, gets deflected over to Dwinell. Dwinell kicks it back out to Cleveland. How about one more?
Goodness gracious.
Can't do any wrong so far.
19 points for Cleveland. Oswego needs something. Caleb Wright inside Jordan Brooks. Now into the corner. Drive inside by Akin. Thought better of it. Brooks kicks to Tonelli. His deep ball, too strong. OR to Akin and rattles in and out. Nothing going for the Panthers.
And they're getting some good looks too, Larry. Just can't get it to fall. Got the lid on the basket right now. Another close one.
Brooks with a good shot fake. Trey Red downhill, goes coast to coast.
How about that move? We've seen that so many times this season. It'll switch of hands.
20-point lead for the Ironmen just like that. Three ball from Tonelli, too strong. Cleveland out ahead to Red through contact. That's two in a row for the senior.
Larry, how good is Trey Red? I mean, he just finishes right at the basket. Oswego looking for an answer, had a couple missed threes, but Normal Community just doing it all in transition.
John, I'm almost a little bit speechless. I mean, on paper, Community definitely is larger than probably most teams in Central Illinois, if not most teams in the state. But you look at Oswego, they've got some size on the bench. 6'3", 6'5", 6'5", 6'6", but they just have not been able to keep up.
No, I think it started with defense, Normal Community able to force those turnovers, and just the unbelievable basketball IQ by Trey Red, Zach Cleveland, their awareness on the court, able to move that ball and find the open man in transition. But Larry, I mean, if this continues, I could see a lopsided game here.
It definitely has been so far, as Community's jetted out to a 31-9 lead. And if you're Oswego, what's the answer?
Yeah, it's not like the defense has smothered them so much as it was early in the first quarter where they can't get a shot off. They're getting good looks at three. They're getting some shots inside, just can't get anything to fall right now. So their offense is spacing the floor, getting them looks, but the lid's on the basket.
Nothing going right for the Panthers early. Good ball movement here. Jordan Brooks inside, cut off. Back out, up top to Hunter. Niesman hands off to Brooks. Sophomore bounce passes to Zach, and his mid-ranger goes down. Zach has 5. One of the leading scorers for the Panthers.
Get one to fall there. That was a nice shot there from Zach.
Crofton Perry goes down low to Weber, has it batted away. It's taken away by Armani Hunter. Oswego trying to make it a run. Deep 3 from Zach. Didn't have enough. Rebound to Noah Cleveland. Perry feeds Weber. Triple teamed, passes out of it.
Trying to look for Weber down low, some space.
Famous French in the paint. Hook shot, made it look easy. Panthers push it now. Armani Hunter, a little bit of a size mismatch. 5'9" against 6'8". Here's a Kin. Into the corner, Brooks drives baseline. 3 from Hunter off the attachment.
There's that spacing there, Weber inside.
Great defense by Jeremiah Kin to get in there and get that tie-up before Weber was able to put on the post moves.
Yeah, 5-inch size difference there. Keen at 6'3", Weber at 6'8", but he's not giving him anything inside, able to rip that one away. And Weber's such a tough player to contain down low, really asserts his dominance down there off the bench.
Crofton Perry, the trigger man. No Cleveland. Back to Perry, and his shot is off. For Oswego, you really need some buckets, if not a large run before the halftime locker room, something to energize you.
It's not going to be the answer there.
Roman from 14 gets the spin off the attachment. I think that just summarizes Normal Community's day. Everything falling, and it started with the defense once again.
Yeah, getting a lot of different players in the scoring column too. Roman's first points.
Runner off from Jordan Brooks. Roman lost it there, got it back, and gets it to Weber, who flushes it once more, and one.
The big man throwing it down, his second dunk of the game. And Larry, we talked about Oswego making that run, but on the flip side, it's Normal Community just adding to that lead.
Jaheim Weber, one of those guys that you watch play and then you think, Well, you know, next year Normal Community's losing a lot of guys. Famious French, Zach Cleveland, Tyler Dwinell, but you see Jaheim Weber put up some points, and you think, okay, well, maybe the Ironmen are in pretty good hands.
Yeah, he'll definitely find himself in the starting spot next year. Player that's really just progressed as the seasons went on.
38-11. Kyle Zach into the corner. Jordan Brooks. Here's Niesman. Zach has no space. Niesman, fadeaway jumper off the mark. Good job by Akin to battle for it. Getting physical, both players tied up there. Good to see everybody's all right.
Chance for Oswego here on this possession to try to get something on the board. But Normal Community's defensive pressure really made it hard on them.
I think the word would be suffocating to describe this defense. Goodness gracious. Not sure what's more impressive, their offense or their defense.
It's about 50-50 right now. Do the turnovers outweigh the dunks?
3 from Zach is off, and it's going the other way. One of the more impressive performances, really, that I've seen from any high school team this year.
I would say in the first half alone, Larry, that's the most dunks we've seen from Normal Community. Maybe in total of a game that they've had this year, definitely the most I've seen in the first half.
Robbie Brent will slow it down. Ironmen can hold for the final shot of the half, and I think they will. We'll see if they can end it on an exclamation mark. Roman downhill inside, lost the handle. Akin chucks it ahead, falls feet short. And Normal Community heads to the locker room with an impressive 38-11 lead.
Yeah, it was, like you said, that defense was suffocating. Offense was just tremendous, and scoreboard kind of tells the story of that first half. 38-11. Zach Cleveland, a great performance there the first half. 4 dunks for him. Jaheim Weber off the bench, 2 massive dunks, and Ironmen are really doing it all, showing why they're 25-1 on the year.
The Ironmen had a great first quarter, led 20-7 after 1, but then outscored Oswego 18-4 in the second quarter, and they take a gargantuan lead to the locker room, led by 19 points from their superstar, Zach Cleveland. Stay with us. You're watching the Midwest Crossroads Shootout on Clutch Sports Media. And welcome back into Normal West, where the Normal Community Ironmen are looking more like the Harlem Globetrotters than a high school basketball team. 38-11 over Oswego in game number 3, the Midwest Crossroads Showcase, or Shootout rather. Glad you're with us on Clutch Sports Media. And John, I mean, I think the score says enough. Zach Cleveland leading all scorers with 19.
Yeah, he's doing it all, and a lot of those points in transition, able to get to the rim, through a couple dunks down with authority. We'll see if Normal Community keeps that up-tempo pace here in the second half. Oswego's got to try to find an answer, though, here early in the third quarter.
First shot of the quarter is off. I'll stay here with Community. Crofton Perry gets it into Cleveland. Back to Perry. Now Cleveland back up top to Trey Red. John, if you're Oswego here, I mean, first of all, what do you think the message was in the locker room? And second, how do you stay inspired? How about a lob? Zach Cleveland from Trey Red.
You kind of took the words. I was going to say you got to make a stop here on this possession, and a backdoor alley-oop to Zach Cleveland. Not what you want to see if you're the Panthers.
Kyle Zeck, baseline runner is off. Trey Red wants to run ahead to Famius French. He can't get the roll. Red the offensive rebound. Reverses course, jump pass to French. Point blank, second chance, no. Third chance for Weber goes.
How about that, just grabbing all those offensive rebounds. Not one, not two, a third time, and it goes for the Ironmen.
Brooks off balance, got it to go. He's got 4. Sophomore's been pretty impressive in the middle of pretty much every Oswego play, it seems. Tough day for his team.
Trying to get back on track, gain some momentum, try to get a win, but Normal Community is such a tough team to match up with.
Weber blocked from behind by Deacon Tonelli. Wanted to make sure that Weber didn't get another slam.
I think what makes him so tough to beat, too, is how well they move the ball inside out. Swing it in transition.
Red through traffic. Can't get the mid-range to go. Here come the Panthers in transition. Zach into the corner. Just inside the arc, and it's off.
Well, Community looks to slow it down a little bit.
Cleveland looking for an assist, but Weber can't get a handle on it. John, I suppose we'll go back to what we were talking about in the middle of that Cleveland lob, that unfortunately timed question I posed to you. You're a team, you're down big here. You know, what's the inspiration? Where do you dig deep from?
Yeah, I mean, you got to try everything you can to just string a couple baskets together. That's a start right there. And everything in your power to make a defensive stop, which I know seems like a tall task, but try to pressure Donnelly on Weber as much as you can and just try to keep Cleveland outside of the post. But then you got to think Trey Red can just swoop through defenders and get to the basket, so it's going to be a challenge.
Cleveland's fouled there. First foul on Max Niesman. First foul on either side of the second half. Pass down low to Weber. And he has it ripped away, and he rips it right back. Goes to the rack, and he's fouled.
Was looking for a dunk on that one.
When is he not?
Yeah. Always going up 2 hands. That one just gets him contact, but he can get 2 back here at the line if he can convert.
Weber's first rattles in. And everybody at home, I want you to watch Normal Community's bench on the second free throw. And if Weber makes it, watch the routine. Everybody stands up and claps twice. That's something that Community's been doing all season long. Why not? Team that has pretty good chemistry. Having a lot of fun in this one, 44-16. Jordan Brooks forced that one out off of the Ironman.
And Larry, it's fitting that they're in sync on the bench. Give it that 2 clap, stand up, just like they're in sync on the court on offense and defense. Everybody out there talking, they know where they're at on the floor. That's what makes them such a good team.
French feeds Weber down low, making it look easy. The big fella's into double figures.
Seen Normal Community in a lot of close games this year. We've seen them in a couple lopsided games. This one looking like it could be more on the lopsided end. As Dave Witzig's going to go a little deeper into the bench now.
Zach Cleveland, Trey Red check out of the game. Entire 5 checks out. And honestly, how often do you say this? But that might be it for those guys as Robbie Brent slips in his first sequence in. And right as the starters go to the bench, Caleb Bright drops in a 2. But again, John, it's very rare that you say, your big guys, your stars, your starting 5 sit on the sideline for the rest of the game. But I think that's the case here. No point in playing them when you've got state title aspirations. And obviously, as we've seen Community's body of work throughout the season, they're building something special this year.
Yeah, they are. And you think this is that little glimmer of hope for Oswego with the bench out there, their starters still on the court for the Panthers to try to push into this deficit. But you got to think Normal Community's bench just as equally talented. It's going to be tough for them to cut into this.
Here's the mass timeout in the third quarter. We want to remind you of our great sponsors here today at the Midwest Crossroads Shootout. This game number 3, especially brought to you in part by Unit 5 Community School District. Here in Bloomington Normal, rather just Normal, not Bloomington, not that side of town. But hiring all positions, as well as all the other sponsors here on your screen. John, as soon as the clock hits the fourth quarter, it'll be running clock territory. But look inside Normal Community's huddle there. I mean, it's got to be exciting for the rest of their guys to get some playing time, but honestly, I'd venture to say it's not that big of a step down from Community's starting 5 to their deep bench guys, because you've got, looking down, up and down the roster, Eli Benson, 6'2" senior guard. Then you've got Ty Niekamp, a 6'4" senior center. Jaheim Weber will get some minutes down the stretch. 6'8" sophomore center as we miss a turnover and focused on the Community bench. Joey Wright asleep at the wheel here, folks, but that'll happen. Oswego sets up the offense. Niesman inside, Tonelli fights through contact, but can't get the bucket. Offensive rebound chased down by Caleb Wright.
Oswego looking to get something going on this possession. It looks like they're going to get 3 at the line.
Tonelli will head to the stripe. He's had a little bit of a frustrating day. Great all-around athlete. As we mentioned at the top of the show, Power 5 football recruit, averaging 10 points per game. For the Panthers, first free throw is off from the big fella. He's just got 3 points today.
Yeah, they've made it hard on him getting anything going inside or beyond the arc. Can't get these free throws to go. See if he can knock down the next one.
He goes 1 for 3, up to 4 points. John, when you play a game like this against a team that, frankly, you might be a little overmatched against, you learn. At the very least, you learn a lot from playing a really competitive state-ranked team. Hook shot off from Noah Cleveland.
Yeah, you do, and you can go back and watch film and work on things little mental mistakes, some turnovers, defensive mishaps, missed cuts on offense. Kind of helps you prepare for later down the stretch as we near the postseason. But anytime you play a team like Normal Community, they can bring the best out in you.
Jeremiah Akin drops in his first field goal of the day. One player I've been really impressed with is Jordan Brooks, the sophomore for Oswego. Hasn't done a ton of scoring, 4 points for him, but I said it earlier, kind of in the middle of every possession on offense as Caleb Wright denies Braylon Roman, but his passes are crisp, his dribbling is really good, and he's shown a lot of shiftiness.
Yeah, he has, and he's going to go to the bench here and check out. But like you said, yeah, he's definitely been the spark plug for Oswego. Even though they haven't put a ton of points on the board, he's really doing it all.
Brady Starkey's three is off for the Ironman. Caleb Wright through traffic gets that tough bucket to go. He's got 8 to lead Oswego. A 5-0 run for the Panthers. Trying to take some positives back up north. The Southwest Prairie Conference. 6-7 conference play. Normal Community 7-1. 25-1 overall. That's not too bad.
No, not at all. That lone loss came against Champaign Centennial, which we mentioned last week. They haven't lost in 2 months.
Inbounds pass from Eli Benson goes to Noah Cleveland, and it's out off of the Panthers, so they'll try again. Brent slows it down. In case you're just joining us, this is exactly what you think it is. A lot of separation from Normal Community from the jump.
Yeah, a game that they really dominated early in the first quarter and haven't slowed down one bit. A chance for their starters to take a rest here. They went out fairly early in the third quarter. Gives your bench a chance to get some more experience.
You know, we talked about this earlier, but it's always fun when your deep bench guys can get in. You know, those guys that work so hard in practice to do good work on the scout team. Always fun when they get rewarded with minutes, and in this game, big minutes. Noah Cleveland drops in his first 2, taking after his brother a little bit, who has a game-high 21. Cleveland an inch taller than his brother, who's 2 years older than him. Kyle Zeck buries the 3.
Definitely a 3 they needed right there. Zeck finds the answer. Normal Community still out in front by quite a bit.
Braylon Roman gets downhill. Look at this ball movement. Triple from Brent goes down just before the buzzer.
Nice pass there over to Brent, able to get it off before the buzzer. And Larry, this is one of the better performances we've seen from the Ironmen.
Indeed. And John, we'll get into it more throughout the fourth quarter, I'm sure, but I mean, this performance for Community, probably the best performance I've seen from a boys high school basketball team all season. Granted, they're not playing another state-ranked team. They're not playing another elite opponent. But they came out here right away, took care of business, and really shown what they're made of.
Yeah, they've dominated from start to finish as we head to the fourth quarter here. Let's see how Oswego can close this game out, if they can get some points back up on the board, try to cut into it a little bit, or if Normal Community just keeps their foot on the gas.
Looks like their bench guys are going to go back out there, and, you know, why put the starters back in, right? Got to get the bench guys some minutes. Don't want to risk injury. Here's a question for you, John. Did you play high school basketball?
Did I play high school basketball?
Yes.
I did not. Baseball.
Baseball. 3 goes down for Oswego. Kyle Zeck with his third 3 of the afternoon. Or rather, that was a 2, so he's got 10. Lead cut down to 51-28. What was the largest victory you ever took part in high school baseball?
I believe it was 22-1.
3 goes down for Owen Podge, 6'3" junior forward, gets in on the scoring party. 22-1, that's tough.
Yeah.
You remember who you were playing?
I want to say it was a Big 12 opponent. It was either Peoria High or Peoria Manual.
Ooh, that's tough.
It was at one of their fields. But that was a game where a lot of home runs were hit. They were down a couple players as well. So and in those games, some of the starters go to the bench and bring in a couple reserves. Baseball does that as well and get some guys some other playing time.
At the end of the day, I think if you're a team on the losing end, and I will preface this with the fact that I took part in a few blowouts on the losing side myself in high school on the baseball side of things, not basketball so much. But, I mean, first of all, you got to go into practice and take a look at the things you can improve. But then second, I think one of the best things to do is just laugh it off.
Yep.
I mean, there's not much more you can do. Otherwise, it's just too demoralizing.
We were on the winning side, and then there was also a lot of bad beats as well. And not to hang your head on them, but you come across a team who's just better start to finish. You got to come out the next game and learn from what you did wrong.
Jonathan Michael, our producer, passes along a note. And when he played high school basketball, he lost 76-12 his freshman year. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Could be worse, folks. The lob goes up and down to Jaheim Weber. He's got 13. And that's one thing I like to say. It could always be worse. Deep 3 from Max Niesman, halfway down and out. One thing today, John, the rims just have not been friendly to Oswego. Seems like Normal Community's gotten all the friendly bounces, and Oswego's gotten none.
Yeah, and Oswego's gotten some good looks at the hoop. Just can't get it to fall, and Normal Community's getting everything to fall.
Weber fouled. Good play by Owen Podge, getting that one back.
And Larry, as we, I don't want to look too far ahead into the future, but when those players like Cleveland, Wino graduate, Weber's a guy that can really fill the void of those guys. He's showing that now off the bench that he can be a starter. His size down low is really what's helped spark this Normal Community team when those starters do go out and take a break. He comes off the bench and racks up the points off dunks and grabs rebounds. Just a nice player to have off your bench.
Well, it's not often that you can say that you've got a great team, and I'd go as far to say that Normal Community is a state caliber team. But it's not often that you can look at your roster, look at your seniors, and then look down the roster and see those guys who are going to step up and fill the shoes right away. And I think you can say that for Noah Cleveland, Jaheim Weber, a lot of those other guys, some juniors.
Robbie Brent as well.
Robbie Brent.
He'll be back. He's another guy that can really fill in the role of a Trey Red.
And of course, head coach Dave Wizig has helped lead a great system here at Normal Community, not just at the varsity level, but all the way down sophomore and freshman levels as well. First free throw rattles in for Jordan Brooks.
And a chance for Normal Community to do something really special this year if they can continue this winning streak, taking into postseason. You got to think they have a state championship on their mind.
They definitely could. And John, honestly, again, not to get too far into the future, but we were talking about it pregame when we were remarking on the size of communities. The three goes down from Podgy. That's his second. He's got 6 points. Podgy, rather, but we were talking about it before the game. I'd be hard-pressed to find a team, a 4A team, like Community here in Central Illinois. But I think you probably have to look ahead to the sectional level before you find a team that Community is really outmatched against.
Yeah. Going to be some good teams I'm sure they'll run into. Obviously, how the story goes in the postseason, but I don't think they're going to sell themselves short. They know they have the talent to compete with anyone in the state. They've showed that.
Jeremiah Aiken gets the mid-range to go down there. Drive inside by Podgy. Bounce pass over to Owen Myers, and he's blocked by the bottom of the backboard. And a foul is called. Coming down the home stretch of this one, in case you're just joining us, it's been all Normal Community from the jump. They started with a 10-0 run with 8 of those points scored by Zach Cleveland. He's on the bench and with the rest of the starting lineup, has been since the third quarter. Cleveland with 21, game high, mark that will likely stand unless Jaheim Weber gets a lot more minutes down the stretch. The three gets the shooter's touch for Jordan Brooks. He's got 9.
Chance for Normal Community to just slow it down here. Maybe play for one more shot, and then clock's going to continue to just tick.
3 off the mark, and Ty Niekamp can't haul in the offensive rebound. Coming up next on Clutch Sports Media, it's Normal West and Sacred Heart Griffin, a game that we hope is going to be a good matchup. And on paper, John, those are two teams that can really shoot the basketball.
Yeah, Sacred Heart Griffin, team that we saw win the small school boys bracket at the State Farm Holiday Classic. Very impressive. We just saw Normal West a couple days ago against Community. They're a team that can compete. It should be a good game. Looking forward to it. Also looking forward to the nightcap, Yorkville Christian, Peoria Notre Dame.
Again, you can watch all those games right here on Clutch Sports Media YouTube channel or on our website, clutchsportsil.com. Josh Nelson buries the triple. Junior getting some play here in the final minutes of this one. Good hustle from Luke Volker. And he goes flying into the scorer's table. Look out.
You know, down 67-38 late in the game like that, you love to see the effort, though. Still going to get it.
Definitely do. And this loss, not a lack of effort for Oswego, but more Normal Community coming out and having one of the most impressive games and performances that we've seen from a high school basketball team this season. 67-38, the final. All Ironmen, and Zach Cleveland named the MVP of the contest.
Really strong performance from the Ironmen. Coach Dave Widzig. It's a good win under their belt.
There's the player of the game presentation. Why not? Cleveland with 21 points and, oh, I don't know, 4 dunks?
Yeah, at least 4 or 5 dunks. Jaheim Weber, a couple of dunks himself. And Larry, just all-around great performance from the Ironmen. Not much else you could say. Offense and defense was clicking all night.
Indeed, that is just about all you can say for that one. Zach Cleveland leads Normal Community to a big win over Oswego. Game number 3 is in the books. Man, I'm all crossed up. Game number 3 of the Midwest Crossroads Shootout is in the books. Game number 4 between Normal West and Sacred Heart Griffin coming up next. We'll be back here in about an hour as the next game is slated to start at 5:30. Again, Normal West and Sacred Heart Griffin coming up at 5:30. Want to take a moment to shout out our entire crew today. Joey Wright behind the camera for that last game. Jonathan Michael at the controls. Gavin Russell also in the booth with us today. Josh Schwab, Jacob Steinberg working the sidelines, getting some pictures and videos. And up here in the booth for my partner, John Camosa, this is Larry Larson saying so long for now from Normal West. We'll talk to you in about an hour for West and Sacred Heart Griffin.